Today, we're breaking down the jaw-dropping ending of Escape at Dannemora, the gripping true crime drama that's streaming on Netflix. This isn't just a prison escape story, it's a tale of deception, obsession, survival, and consequences that'll leave you on the edge of your seat. So, grab your popcorn and buckle up because this is going to be a wild ride. Let's start at the beginning. It's 2015, upstate New York, at the Clinton Correctional Facility, a place that's supposed to be impenetrable. Enter Richard Matt and David Sweat. These two aren't your ordinary prisoners. They're convicted murderers serving life sentences. Sounds like the end of the road for them, right? Well, not quite. Sweat, played by Paul Dano, hatches a daring plan to escape, and he reluctantly lets Matt, played by Benicio del Toro, in on it. Oh, and let's not forget Joyce Mitchell, the prison employee who becomes their accomplice in one of the most infamous escapes in U.S. history. Patricia Arquette gives a powerhouse performance as Joyce, a lonely woman stuck in a dull marriage who falls into an affair with Sweat. And it's not just romance she gets tangled in. She becomes the duo's ticket out of prison. He smuggles in tools, including blades and other contraband, under the guise of being the prison's garment supervisor. But why would someone risk it all for two killers? That's the million-dollar question, folks. Let me paint the picture for you. Matt and Sweat dig their way out of their cells using the tools Joyce provided. It's a scene straight out of a movie. Oh, wait. It is a movie. They crawl through the prison's underground pipes, maneuvering through a maze-like system until they finally emerge outside the prison walls. It's like a twisted version of Shawshank Redemption, but with way darker undertones. And Joyce? She was supposed to drive their getaway car. But, and here's the kicker, she gets cold feet and checks herself into the hospital with a panic attack. Talk about a twist. So now, it's just Matt and Sweat, on foot, in the wilderness, trying to avoid the hundreds of law enforcement officers hunting them down. The clock is ticking. The tension is unbearable, and the stakes higher than ever. 23 days, that's more than 3 weeks. People, these guys were on the run. The FBI, state troopers, SWAT teams, and Border Patrol were all on their tails. It's like every action movie trope rolled into one. But this was real life. Matt and Sweat managed to survive by hiding in cabins, stealing food, and staying under the radar. But here's where things get interesting. Matt starts to become a liability. He's older, slower, and let's be honest, not exactly marathon ready. Plus, he starts drinking heavily, which slows them down even more. Sweat, realizing that his best chance at freedom is to ditch his partner, decides to split up, and that's when everything starts to unravel. Now, let's talk about those nail-biting final scenes. Richard Matt is holed up near a tree stump, drunk and exhausted, with nowhere left to run. And the SWAT team finally corners him. He does something both shocking and heartbreaking. He raises his rifle, but not to fight. It's clear he knows this is the end of the line. The officers shoot, and Matt is killed on the spot. It's a tragic yet inevitable conclusion for a man who knew he'd never go back to prison alive. As for Sweat, he gets so close to the Canadian border he can practically smell maple syrup. Just as freedom is within his grasp, fate and a sheriff's car intervene. He tries to make a run for it, but is shot twice in the back. And here's the kicker. He survives. Can you believe that? After everything, Sweat is captured and sent back to prison, where he's likely to spend the rest of his life. It's the ultimate game of cat and mouse. And in the end, the system wins. Let's not forget about Joyce Mitchell, the woman who started it all. Back in Dannemora, Joyce is arrested, tried, and sentenced to 3 to 7 years in prison. Her life is in shambles. Her husband, Lyle, visits her in jail, but it's clear their marriage is beyond repair. The final shot of her staring out of her cell door window is haunting. It's a powerful reminder of how one bad decision can ruin lives, not just hers, but countless others. Patricia Arquette's portrayal of Joyce is nothing short of brilliant. You feel every ounce of her regret, her desperation, and her brokenness. It's a masterclass in acting that earned her a Golden Globe, and rightfully so. So, why does this story still captivate us years later? Is it the audacity of the escape? The psychological depth of the characters? The sheer scale of the manhunt? It's all of the above. This isn't just a story about two prisoners breaking out. It's about human flaws, the consequences of bad decisions, and the lengths people will go to for freedom or the illusion of it. If you haven't watched Escape at Dannemora yet, what are you waiting for? It's a riveting, edge-of-your-seat drama with phenomenal performances and a story that's almost too crazy to be true. And now that it's streaming on Netflix, you've got no excuse to miss it. Tell me, what did you think of the ending? Were you surprised by how it all went down? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's get the conversation going. As always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the best stories out there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.